Hey friends, here's a roundup of the best simple habits from 2019 that I'm hoping to continue incorporating into the new decade. Quoting the book Atomic Habits, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. I'd like to vote daily to be someone who's disciplined, reliable, and consistent. All adjectives I'd like to be more of. Someone who has time to spend 2 minutes to make the bed. Someone who can check off a small win at the start of the morning for future Rowena to come home to a nicely made bed after a long day. It's like that saying, tiny changes, remarkable results. 小小的改变，大大的不同。Speaking of having 2 minutes to make my bed every morning, the 2-minute rule has been one of the best additions in my daily routine this year. If I can do something in 2 minutes, I do it. Putting stuff back where it belongs, putting things back where their homes are, taking socks off the floor and throwing it in the laundry basket, a quick tidy sesh to help tidy my mental state, washing cups and dishes I just used, answering a text or email so I'm not left with an avalanche of messages at the end of the day or the week. These are all definitely still work in progresses, especially the messages and the texts, but I found that the more I remind myself of the 2-minute rule and the more I implement it in my daily life, the lighter I've been feeling overall because my apartment doesn't perpetually look like a tornado has just ripped through it. Quoting the book The One Thing, what is the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier and necessary? This is the productivity system I came up for myself 2 weeks ago due to sheer desperation and fear that my head will explode from overheating due to all the open tabs floating in my head. With multiple projects and deadlines, putting sticky notes on my wall and dividing them into 3 sections of open, in progress, and completed really helped me prioritize what was most important. Another quote from The One Thing, extraordinary results are directly determined by how narrow you can make your focus. When you spread yourself out, you end up spread thin. So this is taking what I shared with you guys last week to the next level. I like taking 2 post-it sticky notes at a time and putting it on my desk or on my forehead just so I know exactly what I'm working on at that moment. And once that is done, I put it in the complete file, move the second sticky note over, and rinse and repeat. I've mentioned in previous videos earlier this year that I've worked myself to the point of forgetting to eat. I really don't want to continue doing that in 2020 because I'm starting to feel it. Like my head gets dizzy easier, I'm more lightheaded, I start having headaches out of nowhere. I haven't had a headache in 5 years. So I definitely would like to stop doing that in 2020 and to eat more whole, nourishing fruits and veggies and take better care of myself from the inside out. I'm sure by now you've watched many YouTubers make green smoothies and talk about the importance of whole fruits and veggies and eating the rainbow and incorporating as many colors as you can into your diet, so I'm not gonna drone on and on about that. Instead, I'll just share with you guys how I will be incorporating more fruits and veggies into my diet, and it will be with the help of Daily Harvest. For as much and as frequent as I make green smoothies in the past, you guys may be surprised to know that I actually haven't drank a smoothie this whole year. Yeah, like I didn't use my blender once. This is the first time I used it in a really long time, just to share with you guys that I don't even have time to cut fruits and veggies. It's terrible, which is why I'm so grateful of how convenient and quick it is to make Daily Harvest smoothies and bowls and lattes. Let me just say that this smoothie tastes exactly like a smoothie I will make myself. I also appreciate the quality ingredients that are organic, the variety of ingredients that you can get regardless of seasonality. If Daily Harvest is something you like to try out for yourself, you can use my link and code in the description box below to get $25 off your first order. Different seasons of your life brings different life occurrences, and I also feel like in the different seasons of your life, there's different ways you prefer to learn or absorb knowledge. For my earlier years, the past 3, 4, or 5 years, I think I really appreciated reading physical books. But because recently things have just been crazy, my brain is not working as well as I would hope it is working, because I'm just really tired and busy all the time. Audiobooks have been helping immensely, and I think doesn't matter in what way, shape, or form you are absorbing information, as long as you are. One of the most important things I've learned through books these past couple of years is to look at difficulties that befall us as opportunities to learn and grow. Quoting the book Man's Search for Meaning, the author is a neurologist, psychiatrist, and a Holocaust survivor who is at Auschwitz and many other concentration camps. This is the book that I'm listening to right now. Here's the quote: "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms: to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." For someone who has gone through hell and back, and to be able to find meaning in his suffering, this is so beautiful, and this is why I love books. Here's another thing that's completely changed my life in 2019, and is something that I wish I could be far more consistent in, because it's really one of those things where it will do nothing but the best things for your mind, body, and soul, but you make excuses or you prioritize work or other things over something that can bring you inner stillness and calm. And this, for me, is meditating. Having gone through spurts of spurts of consistent meditation throughout pockets of this year, and having gone through spurts of lack of meditation throughout this year, I think, things like this happen in our life to show us and to give us perspective that this is what your life can be like: calm and peaceful when you meditate consistently. And when you don't prioritize something like this, it doesn't mean it's a right or wrong thing. It's just, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. But having that state, that calm, still state, versus not calm and not still, and an avalanche going on in your head at all times, I think it's really important. And I've learned this year that it's okay to be at either sides, as long as you're aware of what you're doing to yourself and actively work towards where you would rather be more. For the whole year, I would say that I don't really notice my state of being alone, but on days, just one day out of the year, on my birthday, I think it's when it becomes the most apparent, whether I spend it with people I love or whether I spend it with myself or my parents. And I feel like for the past 5, 6, 7 years, my birthday has been one of the loneliest, I feel, or it's like when I just realize how there's not as many people around me as I wish. But I will say this year was very different, and the reason why it was different was the past few years I've just been investing in myself, investing in work, business, trying to go places and build something. And this year I really realized the importance of relationships and friendships, like I mentioned in last week's video, where if you invest in people, for the most part, they will reinvest back into you. And I think that's the beauty of relationships and friendships, because the bigger you grow your business, the bigger you grow other things, you get money and status, sure, but ultimately that is not as fulfilling. I think that's what I'm trying to say, and this is something that I've learned. And with that, thank you guys for being such an integral part of my online life and just my life in general, for your presence, for your love, for your kindness, for making me feel so warm and so loved this past birthday. Here's a voice hug. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys immensely. I'll see you guys next week in the new year. Oh my god. Bye.